Hey yo, what's good with y'all? I am back. Finally, it's been such a long fucking time since my last video. But yeah, today I'll be showing you how to make a Pyrex type beat, and I'm gonna show you real quick what we're gonna be making before going into the whole video of how I actually made the beat. So this is what it sounds like. So that's just a pretty basic Pyrex type beat, nothing crazy, and that's what I'm gonna be showing you today. But before we get into the video, make sure to hit the bell, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, do your thing, and let's get right into the video. Alright, so first off, I already got a sample. I got my drums loaded, which I'll be using for this beat. The loop is made by NitroKid. You can find him on Instagram at NitroKid, and the loop sounds like this. So it's a very repetitive Middle Eastern type of loop. I really love these kinds of loops for Pyrex type beats, as they are this dark, repetitive, and it's so easy to make a bouncy drum pattern for this type of loop. For the drums, I'll be using a Spins 808, a Hit 1 edit of mine, the Pyrex rim, an open hat, pretty rough one, and then a regular 808 Mafia type of open hat. We're going to keep the 808's pattern pretty simple. The first thing we're going to do is find the root key of the melody to make sure our 808 stays in key. So to do that, I will go up 1 octave on my 808s, so these sound a bit brighter than the regular octave that I'll be switching it down to afterwards. So let's find the root key. So that will be D sharp. So let's start building our 808 pattern. Alright, so now I built the 808 pattern. I kept it pretty simple, but also kept making sure it switched up once in a while. So the final bass line sounds like this. Also make sure you right click the 808 and press cut itself to make sure the 808 doesn't overlap and clash. That sounds horrible and muddy in a beat, so that's very important. The next thing I will do to this 808 is shorten it. That sounds about fine. Now I will buff the 808. I also turned the velocity up on all of the 808 notes, and now I will just beefing up the 808 to make it slap that extra hard. So for all you guys asking questions on how to make your 808s slap like they do in my beats, this is basically how you do it. You go to Legacy Effects under the 808, and then you mess with the amp knob, the FXI knob. So I will be putting the preamp to around 2%. You can see in the upper left corner, 2%. And the FXI %, seems fine. Yes, so the next step is to add the rim. I will just add a rim on all the default spots, all the usual spots. Next up is the hi-hat pattern. Before I make the pattern, I will make sure to pull the out knob just a tiny bit. I like to put it just above this line here to the left of it, so that's about 20%. I will start by editing and fill each second step. now that I have filled every second step, I can start adding in rolls and variations here and there. In all my beats, I like to keep the rolls very short, very crisp, and usually in the same spots, because there are just certain spots in a beat where I find rolls very bouncy and very nice to the whole beat. So I'm gonna return to you when I finish the hi-hat pattern, and then I'm gonna go over what I did. Alright, so I finished the hi-hat pattern right now, and the as you can see, there's just a bunch of short rolls here and there, and one kind of long one and slow one towards the end of the loop. So it's basically just a pattern in this space, and then I just copied it over for the second part of the loop. And for these kinds of roll, I love using 1/4 step. I just find those the hardest. So I make sure to keep very short rolls here and there. Actually, let me just show you how it sounds. So that's pretty much just how it sounds. I keep them very short, very bouncy, and I make sure they switch key as well to keep it varying from here and there. So that is pretty much all for the hi-hats. Next up is the open hats. So the 808 Mafia one, I'm just gonna put one in both halves of the loop at this spot, and I'm gonna use this one to add a bunch of bounce to the whole beat. So I shorten it just a bit, and then I'm gonna mess with the beat just a bit and see if I can find a spot, and I'm gonna return to you. Alright, so I just found a pattern for this open hat. As you can see, there's quite a lot, but as I shorten it, it kind of sounds like just a long normal hi-hat, but what I really love about this open hat is that it adds so much bounce to the whole beat. I'm gonna let you hear it first. So as you can hear, it adds a bunch of bounce, and with this open hat I can also play around in different keys to bring extra bounce, and I like to use a bunch of these kinds of open hats in my Pyrex beats. They just add so much bounce. It's kind of like a chase the money type beat. He uses this kind of hi-hat a lot as well. I mean open hat, sorry. So this was pretty much the basics of the beat. Now it's just about adding final touches. You can go into the 808 if you want and add some rolls here and there. So I'm gonna just do that and then return to you. Alright, I ended up not doing that much. I just added a short roll towards the end in a third step. So it's kind of a triplet roll, just to give it some extra bounce. So that is pretty much the whole beat. All that's left to do is to structure the beat. You can structure it however you want. I like to do an intro and three choruses throughout the whole beat, and 2 long verses, and then give it an outro. So I'm gonna be back when I've structured it. Alright, so I just structured the whole beat. I ended up doing it a tiny bit different. What I like to do in these Pyrex type beats is just let the whole beat just drop from the very beginning to make the listener instantly catch a stank phase, the good old stank phase. So it just drops, then it plays like 16 16 bars of chorus, then it goes into 24 bars of just verse, and then it drops into another chorus, does the same thing. It's basically just copied over. And then for the last chorus, I have a short little outro where I've made an automation clip where I basically just go in the mixer, right click the master volume and press create automation clip, and then I just make it fade out like so for the outro. So that is pretty much the whole beat. I'll play it for you here in the outro, but before I let you guys go, I'm gonna just remind you to subscribe, hit the notification bells, drop a comment, anything, whatever you'd like to see for the next video would be much appreciated. I'll be sure to drop a video like once a week, if everything goes to plan. But also follow my Instagram at SREDNA, and I'm gonna see you guys next video. Peace out.